Hi, this is Rachel coming to you with this week's Sparkle of Shabbat. And this week I wanted to talk a little bit more about Tu B'Shvat and a little bit about the planting of seeds. Our weather's been kind of crazy here, so we've had warm and cold and warm and cold. So I'm still reflecting on kind of the differences between the weather here and in Israel and how it can be different and similar, frankly, sometimes. So this week I wanted to speak a little bit about a quote that I read from the Babylonian Talmud, which said to the effect of, "Just as my ancestors planted seeds for me, I too am planting seeds for my descendants." And that really resonated with me in several ways, and I would be curious to get your thoughts about it. Certainly in terms of the traditions and the customs and the things that we try to carry with us, the education, the learning, and pass on to our children, that is a very precious thing that we've received from our ancestors. Sometimes it's going up to great-grandparents and or great-great-grandparents, but most preciously it goes all the way back to our original ancestors, our forefathers and foremothers. We have sometimes very literal plantings of things. Maybe it is trees and seeds and things that have been planted for us in our homes, maybe, and also sometimes in our ancestral homeland in Israel, trees and special things that have been planted for us. And then we also think about sort of the metaphor of the planting of seeds. Why do we plant seeds? Maybe we plant them to plant an idea in someone's mind, maybe to plant something like confidence or joy or just thoughts that we would like to trickle around, sparkles of kindness, sparkles of Shabbat, things that we want to plant around us and among those that we care about. So that is also sort of a way that we can plant those seeds. And I wanted to finish with one of the most touching experiences that I had about planting seeds. Here in the US, as many of you probably know, we can plant trees through the Jewish National Fund, the JNF Fund, and sometimes we refer to it as planting of JNF trees. And it's often done to mark the passing of somebody and a way of commemorating someone's passing or their yahrzeit, the anniversary of their passing. And so we have certainly planted seeds for, or planted trees for people who have passed, and also had them planted for us, for our loved ones in our family. And when Seth and I were touring in Israel, we actually were driving with our tour guide, and he passed these basically forests, and he said, "Oh, these are the JNF forests. And this is where all the trees are planted," or I guess that was one of the areas where the trees were planted. And the Israeli campers, when they're at different camps, go hiking in these forests, these JNF tree forests. And it brought tears to my eyes that here the efforts that we make really do matter, and they really do bear fruit. And here future generations are actually climbing and hiking among those trees. I actually really couldn't believe it. I was thinking, oh my gosh, that's the JNF forest. There's actually real forests where we plant all these trees. But that, I really found that very touching. So my sparkle for this week would be, may we consider with great kindness and carefulness the seeds that we plant, and whether they are quite literally, whether they're metaphorically, or whether we are appreciating them from our ancestors. Shabbat Shalom.